What's up to whoever might be watching? My name's Justine. Today's album, I'm so scared. I feel like I'm gonna get so emotional by this album. So I've never done a video on Billie Eilish before, and I don't do too many albums outside of rap, just on the channel at least, or like hip hop and metal. So this is like a little bit different for my style on my channel and what I normally go through, or what I normally do videos on, but I have heard such great things about this album, and I've actually never listened to a Billie Eilish album all the way through, so I figured I would do this album for today's video. Today we're going to be listening to Hit Me Hard and Soft by Billie Eilish. I'm like scared that this is gonna make me so emotional because Billie Eilish has so many songs that make me emotional, and I've never listened to like a full album, but I have like so many different songs of hers like liked on my playlist. Yeah, she just does it for me. Like, whenever I listen to her, I'm always like in my like very like sad girl hours. So I'm a little nervous to film this, but I'm really excited. I think she has such a beautiful voice, and I feel like she just is really, really relatable. I just feel like some of the shit she says in her songs, I feel it in my core. So anyways, that's the album we're going to be listening to today. It's only 10 songs, so it's not too long. But I feel like that's a pretty good length. I know she's been teasing this album for a while. She did that whole thing on Instagram a month or two back where she put everyone on her close friends and kind of like made people freak out because they thought they were on her close friends. But I know, yeah, she's been teasing this for a little while. If you would like to see the full unedited version of this video, I do have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/JustineLugo. I will leave the link down below in the bio, but if you'd like to see all my album reactions all the way through unedited, go there. I do have to cut it up for YouTube and to avoid copyright. But anyways, let's go ahead and hop into the album. First track is Skinny. Ooh, okay. Sorry, I have to pause it because I need to like reflect, but I like how it's already going into the next song. I really love when artists do that with their albums. What an intro to the album. I already am like getting emotional. Her voice is truly so beautiful, and it invokes so much emotion into it. She's really like has such a beautiful, unique voice. And I feel like what I'm getting from this track is not only is she reflecting on her insecurities, when she's saying 21 took a lifetime, people say I look happy just because I got skinny. The old me is still me, maybe the real me, I think she's pretty. I feel like not only is she talking about like her body image, like how she felt when she was younger. And I know when you're younger, things seem way bigger than what they are. Really, like your emotions are very, very heightened. Even into her second verse, am I acting my age now? Am I already on the way out? When I step off the stage, I'm in a bird cage. Kind of seems like, am I already on the way out? Kind of seems like she's talking about like, she is such a huge pop star. She's just such a huge artist in the industry. And I'm sure, every single artist is scared of like falling off. And I'm sure being so high up there too, like the expectations are enormous for her. I'm sure that is a lot for anybody. And then even into her last verse there, the bridge, I never did you wrong and my patience is gone. Oh, my patience is gone. I never did you wrong. I loved you for so long. I'm not like a huge follower of Billie Eilish, but I do know that she dated the guy from The Neighborhood, Jesse Rutherford, whatever his name is. I know she had a very public relationship and, public breakup as well too. So I'm sure we're going to get some of the emotions she went through in that relationship on this album. So I can already like start to see that coming in. So very, very good intro though. So it's just already hopping into the next track there. It's going to be Lunch. Ooh. Billie's a little freaky. I did see something on TikTok, I think earlier this year, of Billie Eilish like formally coming out. I feel like we kind of already knew she was bi though. We knew that, right? I feel like we kind of all thought that. You know, she's really in this track just embracing it head on, whether it be like, you know, it's lesbian or bi, or I don't exactly know what she is. I think she's bi, but she's really just embracing her sexuality and having fun with it. And I think on top of that, the song is very catchy as well too. And I think, you know, sexuality is definitely something that is scary for a lot of people, and you know, so it's cool to see her embrace it and like not be ashamed and, you know, just do her thing. But it's very catchy on top of that as well. So I think that one will be a bop for the girls and the gays. Chihiro. I actually don't even know how to say this, so I'm gonna try to just not even butcher it. Let's just go to track 3. Wow. The outro was incredible. I want to know if those sounds were her, like her vocals, her voice, probably, but oh, there's a lot with this one. To take my love away when I come back around, will I know what to say? Said you won't forget my name, not today, not tomorrow. So the chorus on this one, I feel like there's two ways to interpret this. And I think after listening to the song more and listening to the album more, it's easier to decipher like the message that the artist is trying to tell the audience. But I also think, you know, that music is also subjective and it's what you take out of it as well. But with the chorus, I was really leaning towards two interpretations. So it says, open up the door. Can you open up the door? I know you said you can't cope with anymore. You told me it was war. You said, show me what's in store. I hope it's not for sure. Can you open up the door? So part of me almost feels like this is Billie talking to herself, and maybe the door is in terms of her sexuality. Obviously, like being in the closet, opening up the door, like opening up and letting people know like the real her. So I almost feel like this could possibly be Billie talking to herself or kind of explaining like what was going on in her head. On the flip side of it, I also could see this being about a relationship, probably a romantic relationship, wanting to get closer to a person, but they're closed off. They can't let people close to them because you told me it was war. You told me what's in store because they're going through certain things inside of them. So it's kind of like being in like a romantic relationship with someone, but still feeling like you can't fully be vulnerable with them or open with them, and like kind of begging your partner to let you in. So I feel like it could go one of two ways. Could be both, could be neither. Could be, so, you know, maybe I'm totally interpreting it wrong, but for me, that's kind of like what I got out of it. I didn't realize this is like a reference to the film Spirited Away. There's a lot of themes and references in this track about that film. Is it like anime? I don't even know if it would be considered an anime like that. Probably, I don't know. I've seen it before, actually. I've only seen it once, and I really didn't know what to expect going into it, so I was extremely confused. But yeah, I like how it's like sprinkled in throughout the track. Just the production on this is obviously amazing so far. I feel like Billie really does have like standout production, and she always just has like such cool sounds and like beats going on in her music, and that was obviously a clear example of like her unique sound, her unique style. I'm interested to see what this is. Birds of a feather. Billie! I'm such a lover girl at heart that like this just melts my freaking heart. It's so like sad lover girl, but like a hopelessly devoted lover girl, but also it has kind of like that, like an upbeat, like summery type of sound. I love it. I feel like at heart, Billie is such a lover girl, and that's why I relate to her so much, because I am too. And honestly, in music, that's like the biggest way that feel like I can like let those like emotions out. But I definitely know how it feels to feel this strongly about someone. Even into her second verse, where she starts talking about, I want you to see how you look to me. You wouldn't believe if I told you. Say you don't see it, your mind's polluted. I definitely relate to that. Loving someone and seeing them in such a great light, and sometimes they can't. I mean, I feel like a lot of people don't truly like recognize how beautiful they are, and it's really like something to love someone and just think the world of them. And then a lot of times we can't see that about ourselves, so it's really sweet to like hear that, like as a partner, just loving someone so much and just thinking the world of them. Wildflower.
And time breaks your heart. I wasn't there, but she was crying on my shoulder. All I could do is hold her all the time. Like I can see her in the
Okay, so this one's tough. God, her lyrics are just like, sometimes they're like a hard pill to swallow. I feel like this song is definitely like the how it feels to be the new girlfriend after maybe like a long-term relationship, or even if it was long-term, just such an intense relationship. Like, I remember my first boyfriend was my first boyfriend, but I was not his first girlfriend. And he had like dated someone for like 2-3 years before me and was like super, super in love. And I just remember being so insecure about that and being so jealous and just thinking of like these feelings that I feel with you and that we feel together. You felt this for someone else before, and maybe it was more intense. Maybe you loved her more. Maybe she was better than me. Maybe, you know, XYZ. As a girl, all these insecurities run through your mind. And it's not always rational. But I think, you know, I don't know, sometimes like your emotion can be a lot, and just to think about like your partner or someone that you feel so strongly and deeply towards, being with like someone else like that, it's hard. The whole part about, you know, she was crying on my shoulder, all I could do was hold her. Now I know that you love me, you don't remind me, should I put all behind me? This is kind of crazy though. The speculation is that this song is about Devin Lee Carlson. Wildflower is also the name of her phone case brand. Actually, the reason why I know that is because there is a very talented photographer. Her name's Coughs. She's based in LA, and she shoots a lot of stuff for the Wildflower brand. She's amazingly talented. But that's actually how I knew that that was Devin Lee Carlson's brand. But I think that's why the track is called that, and it's like an ode to her. Let's hop into the greatest.
man, am I the greatest?
Oh my god. I'm crying. Fuck, this is why I didn't want to film this album. Because I don't want to cry on camera. This is so... Oh my gosh. I relate to her. I fucking feel her, dude. I'm not surprised she has me crying, but like, I don't like to cry on camera at all. Like this, I swear, if you've never seen a video of mine before, I do not like cry on camera like this, I promise. I don't know why this like has me so emotional, but I just feel her, dude. I was in a very similar situation, relationship like Billie Eilish was in, and I just relate to like her lyrics so much, dude. Like I don't even want to like read over the lyrics because they're gonna make me cry, like just reading them. But like, I'm trying my best to keep you satisfied, let you get your rest while I stayed up all night. See, I can't even read the lyrics without crying. I can't even read it. And you don't want to know how alone I've been. Let you come and go whatever state I'm in. Doing what's right without a reward, feel that. And you don't want to know what I would have done. Anything at all worse than anyone. I really just like this chorus where she's just like saying like, man, am I the greatest? All my love and patience, all my admirations, all the time I waited, I made it all look painless. Man, am I the greatest? And then even just the bridge, like, I love you, I still do. Just wanted passion from you, just wanted what I gave you. I waited and waited. I feel like every girl has been through this. And this is why us girls love Billie Eilish, because she really like hits the nail on the head with like how complicated love, sacrifice, and like unmatched affection is. I can only speak from a girl's perspective because I'm not a guy, but I feel like every girl knows what it feels like to do everything for a guy and to be taken advantage of and to really not get the love you deserve. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say because this song is making me too fucking emotional. I can't even like talk. Next song. I literally can't do this. Ooh. Sheesh! I love this. What a great song to follow the emotional ass song that we listened to last. Wow, I really just feel like we're like going through her emotions with her. Like from track 6 to track 7, like I literally felt every single word she said in track 6. And then in track 7 as well too. Thought I was depressed or losing my mind, my stomach upset almost all of the time, but after I left it was so obvious why. It's not my fault, I did what I could. You made it so hard, like I knew you would. Said you'd never fall in love again because of me, then you moved on immediately. And then even into the where she just said, then you moved on. You said you never fall in love because of me, then you moved on, then you moved on, then you moved on, then you moved on. In my experience, not all men, but in my experience, men will say one thing. They will promise you up and down the world and all this. But what I've learned is that actions do not always correlate with words, and you definitely have to believe people's actions rather than what they tell you, because they will tell you anything that you want to hear. Down into her last verse where you were so mediocre and we're so glad it's over. Felt every word. The diner. Okay, this is an interesting song coming from an interesting perspective. And obviously she's talking about being a stalker. I don't know, maybe this is like she's singing the perspective of one of her stalkers. I mean, it's fucking Billie Eilish, so I'm sure she has people, like crazy fucking people, you know? Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Again, maybe this one will marinate more after I've listened to the album a bit more. Okay, let's hop into Bittersuide. But sweet is spelled like S-U-I-T. Yeah, I just feel like listening to this, I just feel like a lot of these songs are definitely inspired by her last relationship. Just in the intro, you know, I can't fall in love with you because I can't fall in love with you no matter how bad I want to. I think when we know that something is like dangerous or, you know, potentially not good for us or we shouldn't do it, there is that desire to want to do it even more, especially if it's like, you know, revolving around a guy or a person that you know you shouldn't be with. There's always that temptation, and sometimes we give into that temptation. Okay, last track is Blue, and then we'll talk about the album as a whole. Ooh. What is that supposed to mean? We just went through Billie's entire like relationship to break up to like her grieving phase. We just went through an entire breakup with Billie Eilish. I really, really like this last song. I love her. I love her music. She just understands, but I think this last song is so important to the album. I'd like to mean it when I say I'm over you, but that's still not true and I'm still so blue. I thought we were the same, birds of a feather, now I'm ashamed. In the back of my mind, I'm still overseas, a bird in a cage, thought you were made for me. But I think the important thing especially comes from the chorus of this song where she says, I don't blame you, but I can't change you. Don't hate you, but we can't save you. So I really like how she talks about how she's still hurt by the relationship and that she's not over this person, and she really like was committed to this person and thought that, you know, this was like her like soulmate, the like her person, you know. But I like that she reiterates the fact that she doesn't blame him, but she can't change him, but she also doesn't hate him. I feel like that's so relatable because I think hurt people, and when people have things inside of them that they need to work on, you're gonna end up hurting like someone else. And I think that's really important. Like, things don't have to end on a bad note, and even though like the relationship wasn't good or two people weren't necessarily compatible, doesn't mean you have to have hate for someone in your heart. Or even if, you know, someone has wronged you or someone has hurt you, I still think you should give that person grace. And I think if you truly love someone, you would never like have hate in your heart for them. Oh my god, Justine, stop freaking crying. It's not that freaking it is that deep though. Like, dude, she just brought me back to like she just brought me back to how I felt in some of my like breakups and stuff. And like, Billie Eilish has the words that I do not, that you do not, that we do not. And she just says it so beautifully. And it's like, there's beauty in everything. And to be able to hurt, like feel this much pain, as sad as it is, it's beautiful that, you know, there was a relationship and you love someone so much. And even though if they hurt you or they wronged you, like, you still learn so much from the relationship. I just think, again, I think she just does a really good job of explaining the relationship, the ups and downs of it and everything. And I think, again, even if this wasn't her person and things didn't work out, I really like that she just put like, I can't change you. And that's true, you can't change people, but you don't have to like live with hate, and you don't have to hate anyone. And like I said, I'm like a firm believer that if you love someone, even if it doesn't work out, you don't have to have like hate in your heart for them. You can still love them and wish them the best, but just also still know that that's not your person. And I think that's really what Billie was going through. Again, she had such a public relationship, a public breakup, you know, and especially with someone of her status, everybody and their mother has something to say about her relationship. And this is what I love about art, and this is what I love about music, is that she poured her emotions into this, and she put her side out, and she put her truth out. And I think this is definitely going to be an album that a lot of people can relate to. I think this is such an emotional album, but I think it was done so beautifully. I think this album is just really just shows like the beauty, the pain, and the complexity of relationships. But in order to feel this kind of hurt, you had to have felt some type of love in the first place, and I think that's beautiful. I really, really enjoyed this album. As you guys can tell, I've never cried on camera like this. I've never cried at an album like this. The last time I got like this emotional on camera was Joji Glimpse of Us, and it took everything in me not to cry, and I can't believe I cried at this. This was such an experience. I really felt like I just went through Billie's breakup with her. Well, this was an amazing album. I can't wait to listen to this album more and just really like kind of dissect it more, and I think just like learn more from it. And I think this is actually an album that could help a lot of people with what they're going through, especially if you are going through a breakup. Like, I'm not even going through a breakup, and this took me back to like a time when I was like, this just made all those emotions like resurface in me. And yeah, this was an incredible album. I think Billie Eilish is such an incredibly talented artist. That is That is pretty much it for today's video. This was a wild one. This was an emotional one. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.